I have to call him that. Ray Stevens. Oh, man. That became the face of the national trend in 1974, didn't it?
It sure did. That was a huge song.
I have to say, in my entire radio career, the most requested song at any time was The Streak.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the phone lines. We had, when I was working at WKE, we had 8 phone lines abreast, and all of them blinking at the same time. Will you play The Streak? Would you play The Streak? Hi, would you play The Streak? Would you play The Streak? Oh, it was crazy. But, yeah, it's this date that The Streak happened on the Johnny Carson Tonight Show. And do you remember seeing that clip, or did you see it when it happened?
Seen the clip, yes.
Yeah. But Johnny had been warned and that it was going to happen, so he comes out on his monologue, and he's talking to Doc and talking to Ed McMahon and saying, well, you know, we've got there's a rumor running around that we're going to get streaked and blah, blah, blah. So they kind of talked about it, and then they went on, and Johnny went on with his monologue. And sure enough, about 3 minutes into it, and there's no guessing to it, but at the time, it was Pat McCormick.
Really?
Yeah, 6'5" Pat McCormick with no clothes, who happened to have been a writer for the Tonight Show.
Yeah.
Came zipping across the stage, and, well, the rest, as you know, is history.
Yeah, he was on a bunch of game shows later on, too.
Yeah, he was. I think he did some time on the Gong Show, didn't he?
Yep,
yeah,
sure did.
But anyway, this was the date, and then a lot of people look back to that song that added a little more frivolity and inspiration for people to take their clothes off and run through public places. Thank you, Ray Stevens. This update brought to you by Smith Discount Pharmacy, 2nd and Chillicothe. Also, Menford and South Webster collectively serving you since 1925. Downtown got 73 degrees, rain moving in, and here's Bill.
Thanks, Steve. Good morning, everyone. 5 members of the Columbus Police Department were involved in an officer-related shooting yesterday outside the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee. Carly Dion summarizes what took place.
Columbus police officers can be seen running toward 2 men appearing to be in a fight.
Drop the knife now!
Police yell multiple times for the suspect to drop his knife. As he seemingly begins to charge at another man, 5 officers fire their guns. Milwaukee Police Chief Jeffrey Norman says 13 Columbus police officers assigned to bicycle patrol in that area were gathered for a briefing in their assigned zone when they noticed the fight. He says the 43-year-old suspect died from his injuries, and 2 knives were recovered from the scene.
Meanwhile, a threat on Donald Trump's life from Iran prompted additional security in the days before Saturday's campaign rally, but it was unrelated to the assassination attempt on the Republican presidential nominee. National Security Council spokesperson Adrienne Watson said officials have been tracking Iranian threats against Trump administration officials for years, dating back to the last administration. Trump had ordered the 2020 killing of Qasem Soleimani, who had led the Iranian Islamic Revolutionary Guard Force. The United States Secret Service and the Trump campaign were made aware of the latest threat, prompting a surge in resources and assets. Meanwhile, across the river, there are some new laws that were passed during the 2024 Kentucky legislative session that go into effect this summer. My friend Keith West tells us more.
New state laws are now in effect in Kentucky, including key measures on crime, autonomous vehicles, maternal health, and child protection. The Kentucky Constitution specifies that new laws take effect 90 days after the adjournment of the legislature, unless they have special effective dates. Some of the measures now in effect include House Bill 258, which seeks to strengthen state laws against torturing a dog or cat. That includes stiffer penalties for first-time offenders who could face a Class D felony rather than a misdemeanor charge under the bill.
West also told me about legislation that affects minors.
House Bill 278 will ramp up the criminal penalties for offenders who sexually abuse, assault, or exploit children. The bill will also seek to prevent people convicted of sex crimes or violent felonies from working in public schools. Another provision in the final bill will require age verification to access adult websites.
Now, if you're headed to the Ohio State Fair, there's some things that you need to know before you go. It involves safety issues. Now, some procedures that are going to be taking place to help ensure attendee safety include the use of visitors being screened through metal detectors upon entry, Of course, there'll be bag searches, and there's going to be concert screening this year. All guests entering the Celeste Center for concerts must go through an additional weapons detection screening, and they're subject to additional screening and bag searches prior to entry. Also, there are a number of prohibited items that you can bring onto fairgrounds, and things such as knives, chains, bats, sticks, alcoholic beverages, bicycles, segways, and hoverboards, laser pointers, glass bottles, and containers. Prohibited items must be returned to your vehicle, disposed of, or forfeited to the Ohio State Highway Patrol. And the average price of gasoline across south central Ohio is 8 cents lower this week at $3.36 per gallon, according to AAA East Central's gas price report. And when we take a look around our region, the average price of unleaded self-serve gasoline shows $3.51 in Waverly, $3.56 in Jackson. In Ironton, it's $3.44, and here in Portsmouth, it's $3.11 per gallon. For Mix 99.3 News, I'm Bill Shope.
Yeah, I've seen it. As low as $2.92.
I saw at a gas station chain yesterday. It was at $3.89.
Here?
Yes.
Now?
Yes. Now, that was yesterday, so my bet is up to $5 again today. So.
Well, that's New York prices. And the one thing I've seen during the summer, and traveling up to New York, Pennsylvania, throughout, up to Columbus and up to Cleveland or whatever, is the differential in prices of gas. Now, again, I've seen it here for as low as $2.92, and I've seen it as high up there as $3.89.
Well, if you go up east on 52 right before you get into Huntington there and South Point and those areas, there always seems to be a gas war going on between Murphy's and the Speedy Mart or whatever it is there. And man, sometimes those prices get crazy low.
Pretty insane, yeah.
Yep.
Well, when you find them, take advantage of them, because you can go down a mile down the road and it'll be 60 cents higher.
Absolutely.
Be careful. Well, the Republican National Convention is kind of turning into like a bad night at the comedy club.
Well, yeah. It's some of it's falling flat. Yeah.
Well, yeah, some of these people are getting up there, and instead of just talking about issues and talking about how strong the Republican Party should be, they're telling jokes or trying, and most of them have gone pretty darn flat.
To this point, yeah.
Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders, did you hear what she had to say?
Yes, I did.
She was poking fun at President Biden's age and talked about taking her 4-year-old son, Huck, to bring your kid to work day. And she said, it's much like Jill now drags Joe to bring your husband to work day. Ha ha ha, insert laughter here.
Yeah. No one on the Catskill circuit has anything to worry about.
No, you don't. But anyway, just leave the bad jokes at home, man. Come on. Leave the fighting in between the politicians, but the jokes just, they're lame. The increased civility lasted about 2 days on both sides. There you go. All right, thank you. My man, that is Bill with the news, brought to you this morning by Smith's Discount Pharmacy. 2nd and Chillicothe Street, of course, also. South Webster, Minford, collectively serving you since 1925. Coming up, we've got sports. Tell you what happened to the All-Star game last night.
Since 1925, Smith's Pharmacy has been serving the greater Portsmouth area. And the same great folks who own Smith's Pharmacy also own Smith's Home Medical. Smith's Home Medical offers lift chairs, hospital beds, wheelchairs, nebulizers, oxygen, and much more. Smith's Home Medical is located at 743 2nd Street in Portsmouth, along with Smith's Pharmacy. Your home medical and pharmaceutical needs all in the same building. Now that's convenience. Need even more convenience? Smith's Pharmacy and Home Medical offer free delivery. Visit Smith's, where they treat you like family.
And it is time now once again for sports at 7:08. Brought to you this morning by Ron Wright Auto Sales, 1555 11th Street in Portsmouth. Don't forget Dave, Brian, and Uncle Cousin Joe there. And at Wright, they'll always treat you right. Well, big night in Texas last night, and it was the American League, again, prevailing over the National League. That seems to be a trend, isn't it?
Yeah, it's used to be, that when I was growing up, the National League would win it every year. Occasionally the American League would win, but it's certainly gone in the other direction. Thought maybe it might change last year. National League won the game last year, but Didn't happen. Back to the junior circuit this year.
No, and the thing is that you'll always be, and this is something if you're a historian of the All-Star game, you know, the good, the bad, and all the stats that will live forever. Poor Hunter Green is going to have one that's going to follow him forever and ever and ever.
Well, at least to start out. Maybe he'll get some chances in the future to lower that ERA in the All-Star game a little bit.
Yeah.
We'll see.
All right, here's Mark with more.
Thanks a lot, Steve, and good morning, everyone. The American League prevails over the National League 5-3 at last night's baseball All-Star game. Oakland's Mason Miller was the winning pitcher. The Reds' Hunter Green, he was the losing pitcher, serving up a 2-run home run to Boston's Jarren Duran in the 5th inning. Duran was named the game's MVP. Cleveland closer Emmanuel Clase picked up the save. The Reds' Ellie De La Cruz went 1 for 2 in the game. Cleveland's David Fry was 1 for 2 with an RBI, and Stephen Kwan scored a run. The regular season resumes Friday. The Cincinnati Reds in the nation's capital taking on the Washington Nationals, and the Cleveland Guardians will host the San Diego Padres. The Chicago White Sox are in agreement with free agent infielder and former Red Nick Senzel on a contract, according to John Heyman of the New York Post. It's not clear whether it's a major league contract or if he'll head to AAA Charlotte on a minor league deal. Senzel was released by the Nationals last week. Prospect League baseball last night. The Chillicothe Paints split a doubleheader with the Normal Corn Belters, winning the first game 5-0, falling in the nightcap 3-1. The Paints are off tonight. They will return on Thursday to home at VA Memorial Stadium to begin a 2-game set with the Champion City Kings. The first pitch is at 7:05 p.m. NBA Summer League action tonight, if you are so inclined. The Cleveland Cavaliers will take on the Golden State Warriors at 10 p.m. And former Ohio State Buckeye forward Jamison Battle was made the most of his Summer League experience. The Toronto Raptors have signed him to a contract. Terms of the deal were not disclosed. NFL training camps are just around the corner. The rookies report for the Cincinnati Bengals on Saturday. Full training camp begins next week, July 23rd. The Cleveland Browns rookies report next Monday, the 22nd of July, with the veterans joining them the next day on the 23rd. Bengals first-round pick Amarius Mims is one of just 3 first-rounders yet to sign his rookie deal. The other remaining first-rounders yet to sign, quarterback J.J. McCarthy, who was the 10th pick with the Minnesota Vikings, and pass rusher Dallas Turner, who was the 17th pick for the Vikings. 2 went off the board yesterday as the number 1 pick overall, Caleb Williams, and wide receiver Rome Odunze, who was the 9th pick, both by the Chicago Bears, were signed yesterday. Your Portsmouth Insurance Sports Time is 7:13. Portsmouth Insurance is a TAH benefits partner. Call Gary Duzan for all your employee benefit needs. I'm Mark Williams, WNXT Sports.
All right, thank you, Mark. In this update brought to you this morning by your good friends at Ron Wright Auto Sales, 1555 11th Street, where they'll always treat you right. And coming up next, we got traffic weather together.
When shopping for a vehicle that's right for you, make the right choice. Visit Ron Wright Auto Sales in Portsmouth. Ron Wright Auto Sales strives to get you in a newer vehicle with an affordable payment. Besides cars, Ron Wright Auto Sales specializes in late model trucks and SUVs. All inventory is available to see online at ronwrightautosales.com. The number is 355-CARS. Ron Wright Auto Sales, 1555 11th Street, Portsmouth. They'll treat you right.
And it is your traffic, a service of your friends at the Scioto River, 1024 Gallia Street. And they'll be there. Dashing Darren, Will the Thrill, and also Chasing on Grill. And they'll open the doors at 11 today. We've got Oaks Road in Green Township. And that's going to be ditching today, so they'll have flaggers on scene. Also, you've got contractors working on the improvement project. Junior Powellsville Road will be open to 1 lane. And we do have sheriff deputies moving around this morning on 52 looking at you coming into town. So if you see something we need to know about, give us a call at 354-1993. Traffic is service of the Scioto River, open 7 days a week.
Weather is service of Mary's Spirit Shop, where summer's here and your school fundraisers need quality promotion. Mary's provides the shirts, signs, and accessories to make your event a huge success. It's all at Mary's Spirit Shop at 2109 Gallia Street in Portsmouth.
Your WSAZ First Alert forecast. We will see downpours today, few of them causing some isolated flooding. Temperatures only into the lower and middle 80s. We're sunny tomorrow, temps into the lower and middle 80s here as well. Very pleasant conditions. I'm WSAZ News Channel 3 meteorologist Nicholas Snyder on the Ohio Valley's hit music channel, Mix 99.3.
And downtown, currently looking at some rain in the area. It is 73 as we get up and go.
Mix 99.3.
The best music variety and most fun in the morning. It's Steve Hayes and the Get Up and Go Show on WNXT AM/FM Portsmouth and on WNXTradio.com.
Mix 99.3.